Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be doing a chess video in the style of YouTuber Gotham Chess. So, if you're someone who plays on chess.com, you probably know that there is a bot named Martin. And Martin is just the worst bot that has ever existed in all of chess.com. And all of chess, honestly.
I'd have found a bot that will dethrone Martin as the worst bot. So since we all got, Chromebooks at school and all that, you might be familiar with Cool Math Games. And on Cool Math Games, there is a remake of chess, of course, and they allow you to play AIs leveled 1 through 8. And the level 1 AI is so bad that it may be worse than Martin. But today, we're gonna find out.
Yeah, in case you want to know, we're also going to do a part 2 to this video. We're going to test the best chess.com bot against the level 8 Cool Math Games AI.
I have an inkling about who's gonna win. I think
who's going to win
Anshin
both
wins.
these games. Now, also, to balance it out, we're going to give Cool Math Games bot white to have a bit of advantage. And in case you're wondering, the way we're doing this is that we're going to have both tabs open and we'll copy the moves over. You know?
So other than that, I think it's about time we get into the video and see who wins this battle of the worst. Pawn.
So they played
Pawn to e4. Okay, so we respond. King's pawn.
Okay, let's see what they do now.
Wait, no.
Okay.
Oh, they bring the queen's pawn.
Okay.
So
Martin playing a bit of a somewhat logical move, I guess. Okay, and then now this is the part where the bots just start going full Ooga Booga mode, as Gotham Chess would say.
Bring forward pawn to a3.
Martin plays
bishop's pawn.
Plays this pawn.
King's bishop's pawn. How does that work?
Okay, and white now plays this random ass move. Martin plays that
other bishop's pawn. And they bring the knight towards the king. No, towards the king.
Retreat the knight.
And they bring the queen out, checking the king.
Okay. So let's see. Okay, and they block with the queen?
Instead of using the bishop, which is super dumb.
Okay.
Wait.
Let's see what
they take with the bishop.
They take with the bishop, watch.
Okay, so far, they've traded their queens.
Okay. Just move the bishop like one space forward. Okay. Martin plays this move forward.
And bring the knight
and
out.
Block with the knight. These moves feel very random. It feels like these moves are just like picked out of a hat. Am I wrong?
No, you're not really wrong.
Wait. Okay, I'm sorry if we're like having trouble here.
The bishop takes.
Bishop takes pawn.
Not a bad move, actually.
Not the worst thing. Okay, now Martin just
Martin moves his king to the middle of the board.
Martin moves his king forward,
quite the spectacle.
Which is not a strategy I would use. And Cool Math Games just plays that. And Martin just keeps moving their king.
The king is like in direct danger.
Okay.
Smart move.
Cool Math Games gives check.
Checks the king. And the king retreats.
King retreats, as he shouldn't have moved in the first place.
Bishop comes down.
Here?
No.
Here. Bishop attacks pawn, which is not a strategy I would use in this position. And then the Math Games just moves the rook towards the...
Which does nothing except block it even more.
Okay, Martin, what are these moves doing? These moves are doing nothing. I don't understand what they're playing at here.
Brings the knight
out. Martin moves his king forward.
No, Cool Math Games.
Cool Math Games moves his king forward.
For no apparent reason.
And now...
Martin brings the bishop out for no apparent reason.
That's
and then they decide to... Cool Math Games decides to develop their pawn a bit. And
Martin just brings his rook forward.
Which really hasn't solved anything.
Because it's still blocked. Similarly, this guy gets a other idea just like that. Now, and okay, cool. Okay,
Just sacks the pawn, which is, it's a Martin type move, and brings the rook back to where he belongs.
Very Martin thing to do. Okay,
Takes with the bishop.
Cool Math Games takes the bishop. Is he gonna trade? Yep, he's gonna trade.
Well, this is getting interesting.
Okay, Martin just
brings the king back.
No, brings the rook to here when it's like he could have just like slid it out there to begin with. It's like the rook can move any number of spaces.
And Martin decides to just slide his pawn.
Cool Math Games decides to slide his rook back.
I assume trying to go for but fails miserably.
Because so Martin retreats his knight a little Martin could have taken this pawn.
It would have been a completely free pawn.
Martin could have just taken this pawn, but instead he decides to fucking mess up. And of course, Cool Math Games brings their king closer to the middle of the board.
The king is basically already in the middle.
Very typical, Cool Math Games thing to do. Martin decides to completely sack his pawn, only for Cool Math Games
to bring their knight,
not to take it, but
to bring their knight back.
It's like he was threatened.
He was threatened by the pawn.
Okay, just what even is this?
Wait. And sacks the pawn, but probably gonna get taken.
No, he doesn't. He just fucking slides it out of the way.
Which is that? Well, I guess it would have been a trade, so it's actually not the worst.
Cool Math Games.
Wait.
Cool Math Games sets to just randomly sack his other pawn. I guess with the
and it doesn't take.
Martin just pushes the king back there. Okay.
Cool Math Games
decides to sack his rook
for no apparent reason. And now Martin is up by 5 points of material. And Cool Math Games takes.
Cool Math Games takes with the knight.
Oh wait, I think that was the wrong knight. Go back. I think it was this knight, right? Yeah, it was.
Okay. Sorry about those. Cool. Okay.
And they move their rook back. Well, Martin moves his rook back for some reason.
Cool Math Games. Wait, hold on.
Moves their knight.
Cool Math Games actually does do a good move here. They fork the king and rook.
Moves the king forward. Not a bad move.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Move the king forward.
Oh, right. Okay, I'm sorry. Moves the king forward.
And for
Cool Math Games, instead of taking the rook like you'd expect them to, says to just put his rook here.
You would have been more free to go there.
You could have literally done anything.
And now that fourth.
And now you'd think, okay, well, yeah, Martin, instead of just moving, do we know instead of Martin just moving the rook here? No. It's here and taking the knight. No, we're just gonna move it here because he's too fancy. And since we haven't
Cool Math
Games just undoes his last move. Okay, that's a fair thing to do. And you know what? Martin decides to sack his knight. Cool Math Games does not take because he apparently just enjoys moving his rook back and forth.
Is this game ever gonna end? What is happening?
And then Martin plays the incredibly, totally not random move.
And somehow doesn't get taken.
And move that. Is it possible in any way that both of these bots have the moves picked out of a hat?
And Martin actually takes
something.
Which is, one of the first good ideas I think Martin has ever had.
Yeah, takes the pawn.
And
Cool Math Games
moves the rook.
Moves the rook 1 instead of just making a normal move. Okay, I think Martin's done fucking around. He's got to actually start doing some stuff now.
No, as Gotham Chess said, Martin is just programmed like a dad, and he is just meant to lose.
Cool Math Games says to take this rook, which is a good move.
But also sacking the knight. Martin is actually...
I think Martin has given... Cool Math Games goes full Ooga Booga mode.
Without even taking the pawn, which would have been completely free.
Okay, typical Martin, slides his rook here for no reason.
King take.
Cool Math Games takes his pawn.
Instead of taking it,
he could have taken it before, but okay. Okay, Martin
checks the king.
Martin gives check.
But also sacking his rook, but doesn't take.
Cool Math Games, instead of taking the rook, he decides to just move here.
which, interesting move. But Martin
Martin just moves one. What is this?
This is the
Martin just moves one here, and then Cool Math Games just moves here.
for no apparent reason.
Okay, now he forks. Now, common intuition would say that Cool Math Games will take her the knight, but I predict that he'll probably just move his king for no reason.
Yep.
I was right.
Who would have guessed?
Who would have guessed? Now Martin's gonna play something dumb. Not entirely dumb.
Martin actually checks.
Martin actually plays an okay move.
And the king just slides back as usual.
Bishop.
Takes the pawn.
Bishop takes this pawn. Cool Math Games will. Okay, Cool Math Games decides he's just gonna fucking hide his knight behind his rook. So he just does right there. Knight
moves
forks
into the danger zone.
Now I predict that Cool Math Games will likely just hide his knight for no reason. No, his king, I mean. But no, Cool Math Games actually decides to go here. Now Martin will probably play something like book somewhere. Or no. Bishop retreated for no reason. That is typical Martin behavior, you know?
No, he really is programmed just to lose.
You know, Cool Math Games
seemingly trying to promote.
Games just decides to push his pawn, forgetting that the rook is attacking that square.
And it seems Martin forgot as well.
Martin forgot as well. So Martin gives check instead, and king just slides here. Okay, and Martin just completely retreats his bishop for no reason. And of course, typical average run-of-the-mill Cool Math Games slides his rook to the corner. It's like they're trying to set up the board again. Knight hasn't moved. He's putting the rook back. It's like, what the hell? So
I think I got the rook and the bishop confused.
So Martin plays king there for absolutely no reason. Cool Math Games finally decides to take his rook off of this
little corner he's been forced
and gives check.
Moves his king.
White decides to take with the king.
And
check with okay. King decides to move here.
And rook takes. Like we said, except rook sacks.
Rook sacrifices itself. And Cool Math Games just decides to give check instead. He could have taken the rook, but no.
And Martin moves himself away. Classic Martin move, honestly.
For no reason. And classic Cool Math Games move, he just randomly decides to move here instead of taking the rook or doing something like that, you know?
Doing anything productive. And the bishop returns from his cave of solitude.
Martin decides to just slightly push his bishop out.
For, whatever.
Okay, so Cool Math Games, typical, decides to just move its rook to some random-ass position.
I guess he might be attacking the pawn, but I'm not sure if that's what's going to happen.
And Martin decides to just randomly move his knight here for no reason. And okay, so Cool Math Games decides to just like put its
instead of taking the completely free pawn.
And Martin moves his knight back here. And instead of like attacking, he moves here. Cool Math Games. And Martin says fuck it and just moves his rook here. What the hell?
That pawn is already protected.
What is the strategy here? So, okay, so Cool Math Games just puts his knight here, checks. Okay, and then he just pushes out. And he gives another check. Okay, and he moves out of the way. And Cool Math Games decides to attack with the rook.
And Martin once again just pushes his king back.
King back. And, when Cool Math Games decides, I haven't sacked enough pieces yet, so I'm just going to sacrifice the rook! And Martin just doesn't take it. What is this game right now?
Martin is really throwing, dude.
Martin is just completely throwing this game and says, hey, you know what's better than a rook? A pawn. And Cool Math Games just randomly puts his king here.
For no apparent
What is happening?
Reason.
What the actual hell is happening in this game?
Okay, so Martin checks with his knight. Martin is done playing these fucking games.
Martin gives check. Cool Math Games moves here.
For reasons.
Martin
gives check again.
Martin gives another check. Games just moves here.
And
And
the bishop has made a full migration across the entire board from his former cave of solitude in the corners.
Okay, so Martin again decides he's gonna sack his rook. No, he's gonna sacrifice the rook.
For a knight, which is a terrible.
And Martin
choice.
actually takes it this time.
Oh my god, dude, this is Martin's salvation.
And Cool Math Games just. I have no word. Can we acknowledge that this game could have ended like 4 times now?
That was so close. We are 60 moves in.
We're 62. We're 62 moves in. This game could be over right now, but it's not.
Brings the bishop back
and
again.
Cool Math Game decides to
develop the pawn.
To move this pawn.
Maybe they're trying to promote, but it's honestly hard to tell.
And Martin just pushes closer. Cool Math Games, instead of seeing the fact that their pawn is under attack, just decides to just, typical Cool Math Games, decides to just slide there. And Martin, instead of taking the free pawn, just moves behind it.
Which is, not like y'all just don't
Cool
get
Math Games, my man.
It is just on a different level.
He just moves his knight here.
Maybe trying to protect one of the pawns.
Okay, Martin
checks the king.
Martin gives check with the bishop, and he just moves the pawn.
And instead of
doing anything, so Cool Math Games instead of trying to Cool Math Games decides to push this pawn, and Martin just
brings the bishop
here, moves there. Cool Math Games puts their knight here for some reason.
Still not really doing.
Martin just
Martin is just done.
Do we acknowledge that this is literally a free pawn right here?
And it's also a check.
It's check and a free pawn, but no, not in Martin's world.
It's just who cares?
Okay, so Cool Math Games
is trying to promote their king.
Is trying to promote the king. Okay, Martin
brings in with
Martin
a check.
Gives a check. Cool Math Games, instead of just moving, decides to block with the knight
and sacrifice.
He could have just moved the king, but no.
Well, actually, it's not a sacrifice; it's protected.
Yeah, but he could have just moved the king either way,
Mm-hmm.
Martin, for no reason at all, just decides to move that pawn. He could have moved it too, or maybe given another check even.
And Cool Math Games.
Cool Math Games just fucking
does what he should have done before already.
I just realized I can. Can I make the screen bigger? No. Okay. So
Martin brings his king towards the middle.
This one.
Yep.
Martin brings king towards the middle. Cool Math Games gives a check. He moves out of the way. He just decides to sack his knight
for
no reason at all. And of course he takes. What were you expecting, you dope?
I mean, they are dumb, but they're not really bad at
this. I am.
And
Martin moves his
rook all the way
My
up.
prediction is that he's trying to go here.
And get around to the king.
No, he's trying to go here and give check. That's my prediction. Either way, Cool Math Games goes here.
Martin
I was
checks
right.
The king.
I was right. Okay.
King moves.
King moves here. Will Martin take? No, of course not.
Martin just runs off into the corner.
He runs into the corner for no reason. Just take the pawn, Martin, you freaking dick.
And Cool Math Games brings the king closer.
Martin just fucking pulls some shit in the middle of the board. Just
that. And
Cool Math Games just moved here.
Which is, I don't know,
okay,
I guess it was
Martin,
threatened.
Martin, my man, he gives check. Cool Math Games
just keeps going down out of fear. And Martin brings his king up instead of continuous checking.
Cool Math Games forgot the fact that the rook is defending the seventh row, and of course
Martin takes.
Now, will Cool Math Games take the rook?
I assume not.
Oh, he actually did.
Oh my god, Cool Math Games actually gained a few brain cells.
Okay. Martin decides fuck it and moves his bishop. Cool Math Games is pushing the pawn.
Maybe trying to promote, but I have no clue.
So Martin cuts off the pawn's next square. Honestly, not a terrible, and Cool Math Games just doesn't care and keeps doing it.
I guess it is
and Martin doesn't care either because he just
moves it.
And Cool Math Games. So
you
see, beforehand, at least the king was protecting the pawn, but now
he just letting the pawn hang free.
And of course, Martin takes.
Oh, and this is now Cool Math Games can't even get around those pawns, so unless they make a royal mistake. So it is just over, honestly.
Okay.
In fact, they could probably get one of those pawns to promote.
Okay. So he goes back here.
Trying to maybe can't even take the bishop. Actually, I don't know what he's on right now. Martin is smoking some crazy shit.
Now Martin, what Martin should do right now
is advance these pawns to promote.
He should.
But I don't think Martin even is aware that half of the board exists.
What Martin should be trying to do right now, from what I can tell, is to walk the king down here, take the pawn, and promote these pawns. You know, that is very simple.
And that would easily win the game because there is only a king left if he does that. Except I guess.
Okay.
I guess Martin is trying to checkmate with the king, for some reason.
Okay, and now Martin is just screwing. Okay.
Are we about to have a draw by repetition?
We want to repeat moves. We were on the 89th move of this game that could have lasted. I feel like this game could have ended
like 4 times by now.
Okay.
Are we about to have some repetition?
If this game ends in a draw by repetition, I'm gonna be so.
Oh.
Okay. No.
Brings the bishop out. Maybe trying to go for that pawn, except it's not the dark bishop.
Yeah. As I said, Martin should get this pawn, get the king here, take this pawn, promote these pawns. You know. But instead, for literally no reason, and I cannot tell you why, he moves there. For no reason. And Cool Math Games tries to take. And Cool Math Games decides, you know what, it's over for me, I'm just going to lose the bishop. But how much do you want to bet that Cool Math Games doesn't actually take the bishop? Oh, wait, no. I mean, Martin decides he's just going to lose the bishop. And hey, we were right. I was right. He just decides
to move there.
Oh my god, these bots piss me off with their stupidity.
This is getting exhausting.
Okay, now this time, Cool Math Games takes the bishop.
Now Cool Math Games is completely winning.
Now Cool Math Games. Well, no, now they can be equal because Cool Math Games can take this pawn, and then he'll be able to promote before Martin.
So,
will he do that, or will he try to move his king to the opposite side of the board? No,
he in fact does.
He actually did it. So now it's a race to get these pawns to the other side of the board.
Which Cool Math Games is going to win.
Assuming that he doesn't play... Assuming that Cool Math Games doesn't play King F3 for no reason.
And now Martin
is winning.
A few more brain cells, not by much, but a couple more brain cells.
Martin
is going to promote first and probably win. And Martin promotes to queen. Which, yes, this should have been done a while ago.
Okay, and Cool Math Games also promotes to queen. I'm honestly kind of surprised Cool Math Games didn't promote to like a knight or something like that. Okay, so Martin gives check.
Which
it's a bad
Cool Math Games just shuffles back a little bit.
Cool Math Games shuffles here. And Martin decides to sack the queen. And Martin just says...
But how much do you bet Cool Math Games
Martin just says, Wakanda forever! And sacks the queen. And Martin... Now Cool Math Games is completely winning.
There's literally no way
Cool Math Games loses. Okay, guys, I'm going to do a quick chess lesson. All you have to do is cut off the king, cut off their king, move your king here, and then come over and it's mate. King and queen mate. Martin decides to just move there for no reason. Cool Math Games decides to move... Math Games moves here
for
reasons. Martin decides he wants
to come closer. I guess Martin. I feel like Martin
queen.
Has accepted his fate at this point. Cool Math Games comes down. Martin keeps trying to come closer, which I don't know what he's trying to do. There's no way the king can attack the queen. It's literally not possible. I think Martin is realizing the error he's made.
Okay, Cool Math Games just moves his king like that. Hey guys, we're back. There was the reason there was a cut there is because there was some technical stuff that happened. So Martin retreats his king to here.
For
and Cool Math Games
retreats the king.
Also decides to retreat their king because. Cool
Games
Math Games sacks the queen, which
No, you need to say it in your voice.
he sacks the queen, which, assumingly takes, will result in a draw by insufficient material. And the game between Cool Math Games and Martin. Oh, Cool Math Games doesn't have insufficient material.
Cool Math Games doesn't quite.
It ends in a draw by insufficient material.
If you guys want to see some sort of rematch,
comment down below. Alright guys, we're back like 10 minutes later. That game was crazy. So as you said, we're going to be posting a part 2. We're going to see the best Cool Math Games versus the best chess.com.
Which is basically the engine itself. Now, there was an analysis, and it said that there was one missed win on the Cool Math Games side.
And we were trying to load it, but it's like if we try to load now, it's going to take like all night.
Honestly, just plug it in and leave it.
Yeah.
But I think our determination is that Cool Math Games is worse, because although Cool Math Games had put itself in a better position, it completely threw that in the trash.
Yeah, and caused a freaking draw.
For no apparent reason. Cool Math Games had like a mate in 6, maybe even 5, and just decided to draw for no reason.
It's like, you know the idea that a game of chess played perfectly is a draw? Yeah. So is a game of chess. This is the opposite of that. And yet it's still a draw. Alright, anyway guys, like and subscribe. Stay tuned for next time and watch some of my other videos. Here's a video that YouTube thinks that you like, that you will like. Here's my channel. Here's Gotham Chess that I mentioned earlier. And, you know, all that stuff. And here's actually my newest long form video, aside from this video, you know. It's a video where I react to my old videos. Anyway, peace out, deuces, skibbity gyat, Ohio.